Making traditional Guyanese roti. Some people call it paratha. So what we have in here, we use a special flour called 5-rose flour, and we have the baking powder and some water. That's all you need to kind of mix the dough. So in this basin, there is 2 cups of flour. There is half of a teaspoon of baking powder, and then we have lukewarm tap water for the actual kneading of the dough. For some people, if it's easier, you just ensure that all the grains, if your flour has grains, is removed from the flour to make it not lumpy. And then you will start to actually knead your flour in. Just drop your water, and all you keep doing is mixing it so that it's combined in the water, and just use the tip of your finger to bring the flour into a mixture. So there you go. Your dough is all ready. You can let it rest probably for about 10 minutes, not too long, before you start breaking it into smaller dough to cook it. At this point here, some people leave the flour as is, others just add a drop of oil. Either way, it's okay. So we can add just probably a tablespoon of oil to this now. Sorry, half of a tablespoon oil. Half of a tablespoon oil into it, and just knead it in so it keeps moist and it wouldn't dry at the very top, because we're leaving it to sit for about 10 minutes. And then we are just going to break it off, what we call, into small parts, or traditionally they say loi, which is probably Hindi, I don't know. Okay, so that's going to sit for 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back and break it off into small portions. Alright, so now we are going to go break it off into small loaves or small portions, and before we start cooking. So there you go. This is how we kind of break it off, so it becomes very small. So with 2 cups of flour, it will give you about 5 rotis, which is good. Good size roti. And simply put your flour into this here, the mixture, the small pieces, into the dusted flour so it does not stick when you're rolling it. That's really what it is for. And then you just roll it out, and you will apply some oil to the mixture here. And again, I dust it with some flour. And the reason I do this is because when you're ready to clap your roti, it actually helps it to become flaky. So again, you dust into the flour. You can just do it like this all around to help bring it out. Roll over, roll, and then you apply your oil. Sprinkle with flour, and you flap it over and across. There's another way that people actually makes these roti shape, and it's a round way. So same principle, into dry flour, massage, roll, 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 and again, this time we will do it differently. It doesn't matter, you can roll it whichever way is easier for you, that's fine. Sprinkle, and what you do is cut it down the middle. Right? You can use a knife if you want. I use my finger, and you just roll it. Roll it. Seems a bit longer, right? same thing. At the end, it's all roti. So that's the round shape, that's the square shape. Are ready to make our roti. Again, pick any one up. Just roll it around, just like you would do with pizza to make it a little bit stretchy. So it's easier to roll. And I must say, I have never learned to master the art of making a round roti. So for me, shape doesn't matter. It's how it's cooked, how it stays, and the fluffiness of the roti. So we go with 1, 2, 3, roll. Again, 1, 2, 3, roll. You don't want the ends to actually be thick, so that's the emphasis, to get the ends of the roti, this mixture here, a little bit thin, so it's cooked when you put it on the pan. Okay, so like I said, for me, shape doesn't matter. So whatever you're comfortable with. People sometimes laugh and they're like, oh, you make a Guyana map. That's all right. Whatever it is, it is. Okay, so we're going to pick this up. All right, the pan is ready. It's hot. It's just a little bit of drop of oil to avoid any sticking down on it. I'm going to lower the heat so it doesn't burn the roti. And there you go. Clasp it over. Sometimes the way you know that it's ready to turn or to flip is when you see like tiny little bubbles start rising, and you'll see like the flour starting to show, like that part. You could see the difference between it, right? That means it's cooking on that side already. It's ready for a flip. And then you're gonna oil. Okay, so always base your roti end to end. Make sure all the little corners you're catching and into the middle. Okay, so that's all ready there on this side. So that's probably less than a minute. I don't know, I didn't time that. And then we flip it over once again. Get the other side now. Continue with the same routine. Oil all around. Oil every part of your roti. Make sure it's oil because that's what keeps it nice and soft and fluffy. You don't want too much, but you want enough so that it's kept nice and soft. So we turn this over again. Cook for about another couple of seconds there. And then we'll bring it over to the clapping part of it. Alright, this is all ready. See, it's cooked on both sides. Alright, it's cooked, it's ready. We'll bring it over to the pan that we've prepared with a sheet of paper towel. So off the pan, into the clapper. This is my clapper. So what it is just 2 sheets of paper towel. You put the roti in here, bring this across, 1, 2, and you clap. So you're not burning your hands. The roti is clapping perfectly because it's still within your hands, but it's preventing you from getting burned.
And the purpose of clapping
is clapping again is not to make the roti dry, but to make it fluffy and to keep soft. So that's your roti right there.
All right.
So we're gonna make it so you'll see. Same principle again. Roti on pan. Does it start to cook from one side? The color of the flour changes. The little tiny bubbles that you're seeing coming up down through. And that's how you know it's cooking. And this is ready to turn. Going through the same motion again of oil. so we're ready to go clapping. Ready to clap again into the paper towel. There you have it, the roti.